News now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I am Amaya Norman. In the first week of early voting, more than 2,000 Victoria voters cast in-person ballots each day. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting stopped by the Patty Dodson Public Health Center for an update on this historic turnout. Trenton.
Thanks, Amaya. Victoria County didn't reach 2,000 voters today for the first time since early voting began on Monday. Still, on a Saturday even, over 1,700 voters came out to the polls. This year's turnout broke the record for a single day during early voting 3 times in a row. The record now stands at Thursday's total of over 2,100 people. Saturdays are not a usual day for voting, but the Patty Dodson Public Health Center is open over the weekend. It opens at noon and closes at 6 tomorrow. Election Administrator Margetta Hill spoke on what's been bringing residents to the polls.
We knew it was going to be big, but we had no idea it would be this big. Everybody has their opinion, and everybody has their right to voice their opinion. And this election, I guess over the years, everybody wants to voice their opinion, young and old, and I think that's what they're doing.
Early voting lasts until November 1st, and it seems like a good amount of voters in Victoria County will have already made their voice heard by the November 5th election. Amaya, back to you.
Thank you, Trenton. As he just says, the voter poll will be open on Sunday, starting at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And going on to next week, the polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. as well. Early voting goes through November 1st. A Texas voter was arrested after assaulting a polling worker in San Antonio Thursday night. The incident at the Johnston Branch Library polling site began with a man being asked to remove a hat supporting a political candidate while in line at the polling site. The man initially complied and proceeded to vote, but on his way out of the building, he put the hat back on. That is when the man allegedly began to assault the worker. The victim was treated on scene for minor injuries.
Since the instance from last night, wearing clothing supporting a political candidate, which that's electioneering. And it's certainly something that you're not supposed to do. It's pretty clear in the literature that we give out to our deputies in enforcing the rules at polling sites. And it's common knowledge that's put out. We have one document here by the Texas Secretary of State, another one from the Bexar County elections, and in both it lays out that electioneering is strictly prohibited. Well, last night we had an instance where it got ugly. Now, thankfully, there was nothing life-threatening about what occurred, but it was still an ugly incident that I can't think of anything like this happening during my time here as sheriff, and I certainly hope to never see it again.
The suspect, later identified as Jesse Lutzenberger, was later arrested and is facing a felony charge for assaulting on an elderly person. Kamala Harris picked up a pair of endorsements she was destined to get at her rally in Texas Friday night. Both Kelly Rowland and Beyonce, 2/3 of the hit girl group Destiny Child, introduced Harris at her Houston rally.
Imagine our daughters growing up seeing what's possible with no ceilings, no limitations. Imagine our grandmothers. Imagine what they feel right now. Those who have lived to see this historic day.
The duo praised Harris as a new path forward, a role model for young girls, and a fulfillment of dreams for an older generation of women. Police in Canada are still investigating after the body of a young woman was found inside of a Halifax Walmart last weekend. Officials say the woman's mother found her body and both workers at the store. The local community is now urging the company to do more for the grieving family. Here are more of the details.
It's been 6 days since the death of 19-year-old Gursimran Kaur at this Walmart. Since then, the company provided a statement confirming 24/7 care is being offered to store employees. But the Sikh community in Halifax is saying that's not enough.
They know one of their employees who is the immediate family member of the Gursimran. They could have approached the family and they could have provided all the help, like psychological support and the expenses that one of the immediate family member needs to get over here.
The mother of the young woman who died also works at the store and was the one to find her daughter's body. So far, the Maritime Sikh Society is helping cover the costs associated with counseling and food for Gursimran's mother. They were hoping Walmart would offer to take on costs to bring Gursimran's father to Canada. But the society says the family hasn't heard from the corporation yet.
Up to this point, Walmart's approach is casual and indifferent. That's what I can say.
CTV News reached out to Walmart to ask if they would cover Gursimran's mother's counseling costs, assist with bringing Gursimran's father to Canada, or offer alternative work locations for employees who may feel uncomfortable returning to this site. So far, Walmart has not responded. CTV also reached out to Halifax Police for an update on the investigation, but no information was provided.
Now it's time to talk weather on this Sunday night. Let's check in with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining to see what your week will look like. Trey.
And thank you very much. Foggy conditions, that's what we're expecting tonight. A fog advisory will be in effect starting at 3 a.m. until 10 a.m. tomorrow. You see right here, Victoria County, northern parts of Calhoun County, Refugio County, Goliad County, and B County, and counties to the south from there. Visibility is now not too bad, 10-mile visibility. The forecast hasn't formed as of yet, but it will. And take a look at this right quick as we see the fog beginning to form well after midnight. Early tomorrow morning, getting near zero visibilities coming up by 8, 6, 7, 8 a.m. Be careful driving out there, very dangerous. Low headlight beams, please. Any rain chance in our forecast? I'm actually seeing some. When will that be? I'll let you know coming up later in the full forecast, Amaya.
Thank you, Trey. A Michigan man just became a millionaire after he won a contest organized by Elon Musk, American PAC. This comes after the Justice Department warned this week that the sweepstakes might violate federal election laws against paying for voters' registrations.
My wife just a few weeks ago had said, "What would you do if you won a bunch of money?"
Home in Holland, watching some Thursday night NFL, the usual for Jason Cochran, until
they just said
it wasn't.
Congratulations.
The visitors handed Jason this massive mock check for $1 million.
Hard to believe still.
He FaceTimed his wife and kids so they could watch the surreal moment go down.
She said she could hear in my voice just shaking that she knew something big had happened.
Was there a catch?
Didn't say I had to vote for, didn't have to vote, period. Didn't have to vote for anyone.
It happened because he signed this petition.
Pretty amazing to come into that just for doing something I would have done anyways.
Elon Musk's America PAC is giving out $1 million each day between October 22nd and November 5th.
Just through X, he just posted it and said, "Congratulations, Jason."
Musk is offering the cool mill to people within battleground states who sign in support of our First and Second Amendments.
Not always super outspoken, but I've definitely always stood up for what I believe in.
Jason says he's going to spend the $1 million on what he believes in.
That is one of the great things about coming into money, is knowing you can help other people.
Jason's family and another from West Michigan started Route, a Christian trade school program for homeschooled students.
Trades are super important, and there wasn't a great way to get a lot more kids into that.
New yacht, beach home, Lamborghini. None of the above for Jason.
It's peace of mind right now. No plans to go out and buy anything.
Spirit Airlines has announced a new plan to sell older planes and cut jobs. Spirit Airlines said in a regulatory filing it will sell 23 of its older Airbus aircraft starting this month, which Spirit estimates will bring in about $519 million. And Spirit said it also plans to cut about $80 million in annual costs by a reduction in workforce. That job cut will be defended on the airline's expected flight volume for next year. It's not immediately clear how many employees will be impacted. That leads us to your viewer poll for today. Do you believe voter fraud is a significant issue? Yes or no? We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate. Grab your cell phones and scan the QR code. This is our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. Watch us anytime, anywhere, and get breaking news, alerts, and votes in our viewer polls. Learn all about our ongoing contests right there on your app. You can also submit news, tip, and photos. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up, North Korean soldiers arrived in eastern Russia. More on that next.
take a look at the visibilities begin to drop as we head toward the midnight hour and early tomorrow morning, more than likely by the time we get to about 5 a.m. or so, getting near the zero visibility mark coming up by 8, 6, 7, 8 a.m. Be careful out there driving early tomorrow morning. What about rain chances in our forecast? When will that be? Find out coming up in the full forecast.
Trump took the stage in Traverse City, Michigan for a late night rally yesterday evening. The event got underway 3 hours later than it was initially set to start due to Mr. Trump recording a 3-hour interview with Joe Rogan. During the remarks, the former president continued his attack on Vice President Kamala Harris, slamming her for going out partying while Israel was attacking, a reference to her large rally in Texas featuring Beyonce.
I am so sorry. Here's what they wanted to do. We got so tired up, and I figured you wouldn't mind too much because we're trying to win. And I got interviewed by actually a great guy. I didn't know him too well, but I got to know him because it was the longest interview I've ever done in my life. Joe Rogan, a good guy. And it's, it's quite something, and we had some other things really important. And I said, we're going to get this stuff done. And my people came to me, sir, we could cancel our evening event. I'm sure the people wouldn't mind. I said, are you crazy? I'm not canceling.
Harris' campaign issued statements criticizing Trump for being late to the rally, saying he, quotes, only cares about himself. Former President Donald Trump said he plans on appointing Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to his administration if he wins the election. He discussed the topics with podcaster Joe Rogan in a 3-hour interview Friday. Kennedy endorsed Trump after he suspended his independent presidential campaign in August. Trump did acknowledge that the two men have different opinions when it comes to the environment.
But RFK is going to be very, I think he's a great guy.
I love the fact that you guys teamed up.
Yeah.
And are you completely committed to have him a part of your administration?
Oh, I am. But the only thing I want to be a little careful about with him is the environmental, because he doesn't like oil. I love oil and gas. I think
just keep him out of that.
To fire. So I'm going to sort of keep him out of a little. I said, focus on health. Focus. Yeah. You can do whatever you want, but I got to be a little bit careful with the liquid gold.
Election, votes, ballot, government, politics, environment. RF Kennedy podcast Texas interviewed Donald Trump, candidate campaign 2024, President POTUS. Kamala Harris was on the campaign trail in Texas Friday night. The vice president held a stunning rally in Houston, which included endorsements from Texas music icons Willie Nelson, Kelly Rowland, and Beyonce. While Texas is not expected to be a swing state this year, the race for the Senate there is closer than some analysts expected, with polls showing Democrat Colin Allred closely trailing incumbent Republican Ted Cruz. Harris' remarks focus on reproductive rights in a state with some of the nation's most restrictive abortion policies in place.
What a warm Texas welcome. I thank you all so very much. And I thank you. And I thank my friends, for reminding us of exactly what we are fighting for in this campaign. We are fighting for freedom.
A pro-Trump protester was escorted out of the rally after the crowd cheered over him as he unfolded a pro-MAGA flag. Israel launched airstrikes on Iranian's military targets early Saturday, hitting missiles factories near Tehran in 3 waves. This was a retaliation for Iran's October 1st missile attack on Israel. Israel warned Iran against retaliation, but Iran condemned the strike, claiming it has the right to defend itself. President Joe Biden has called for de-escalations aimed at raising tension in the Middle East. At least 3,000 North Korean soldiers arrived in eastern Russia this month, the White House said this week. And while it remains unclear what exactly they will do, it is a highly concerned probability that they will join the fight against Ukraine.
These pictures of North Koreans training in the far east of Russia have sparked a lot of speculation over Russia's plans in Ukraine. In intercepted communications from the front line obtained by the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, Russian soldiers can be heard complaining about their new allies. The North Koreans are codenamed the K Battalion.
Он с кем-то батальона К. Я говорю, ну он как раз по поводу батальону К рассказывал. Я говорю, а кто получает, говорю, на них оружие, боеприпасы? Мы, говорю, сухпайки, говорю. А кто, говорю, получает? Я говорю, насколько я слышал, получают бригады. Бригады, типа вы получаете.
We can also hear them refer rudely to the North Koreans as the Chinese. The audio intercepts also reveal plans to have 1 interpreter and 3 senior officers for every 30 North Korean men. The Kremlin had initially dismissed allegations of North Korean troop deployments, but at the recent BRICS summit, Russian President Vladimir Putin appeared to acknowledge that Pyongyang had sent soldiers to the country. Nathan Hodge, CNN, London.
President Joe Biden has directed U.S. National Security Agency to utilize advanced artificial intelligence technologies while implementing security-based restrictions. A new memorandum prohibits using AI to bypass nuclear deployment protocols and bans applications that don't align with democratic values. Some timelines for this order will extend beyond Biden presidency. Officials noted that other global powers like China are already using AI in both civilians and military contexts. For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrone and meteorologist Parker Cox will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
Temperatures will be the big issue coming up for the next day or two, with the temperatures right now in the 70s, cooling off further nicely tonight. What about the week coming up and the rain chances along with the week coming up? When will that be exactly? What days are we looking at? We'll take a look coming up next in your forecast. Good late Saturday night here, Tree Mining here, and feel like temperatures are going to be in the 70s early tomorrow morning coming up here, and rising rather rapidly throughout the day. 60s more than likely by early tomorrow morning as well. and feeling near 90 degrees by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So still have the hot feel to the air, but nothing too oppressive, thankfully. And the satellite radar composite of the state of Texas not showing too much at all. A few high clouds from time to time. High pressure still dominates the weather here and keeping us, well, pretty much on the clear side for the time being. But there'll be an increase in moisture as the high pressure exits further to the east. More of a southerly wind flow will take hold, and it'll give us more of a moist, humid feel as we head toward the middle part of next week. Kind of looking at the Gulf of Mexico here, seeing a few showers out there, nothing brewing in the tropics, thankfully, as of yet. Keeping it quiet. There is a front well to our north. It's pretty much stationary for the time being, waiting for a push behind it to get it going and getting closer to us. This will be the main rainmaker in our forecast, combined with tropical moisture coming in off the Gulf of Mexico by about the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday timeline, as we see right here. And the front won't make it all the way through our region here to give us any cooler weather, unfortunately, but it will give us some rainfall as we head toward the middle part of the week. More on that in the 7-day outlook in a few minutes. Looking at the tropical outlook, nothing brewing in the tropics, no named storms or anything, but once again, Northwestern Caribbean Sea, the first week of November, looking at potential models, runs are hinting at something developing out here once again. It's very busy as part of the Northwest Caribbean Sea throughout this hurricane season. So we'll keep watching that. Don't think it'll head our way though. We'll keep watching it though. The main story also is going to be the fog in the overnight. As we see running through the rest of the nighttime, through about 3 a.m. or so, it'll be mostly clear. With fog developing along the US 59 points to the south from there, and pretty much socked in with fog by 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Be careful out there, some zero visibility is very likely. Squirrel, sunny skies for day tomorrow after the morning fog. High temperatures near 90 degrees. And for your Port Lavaca forecast, we'll have highs in the 80s, near 90 degrees as well. A little bit of a breeze. And in Victoria, about the same, sunny skies with a few high clouds in the morning time and some foggy conditions early in the morning time as well. Be careful driving out there. Low headlight beams, please. Extended forecast for us. Keeping it mostly sunny throughout the rest of the time period. Here comes a rain chance with that front coming in. Unfortunately, no cooler air, highs in near 90 degrees, but rain chances certainly look good coming up by Thursday and Friday into Saturday. So get ready for that. Lows near 70 degrees. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code. You see right there on your screen, get to your webpage. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and it's free of charge to be connected with us. I see Ray Robinson with some sports over there.
Thank you, Trey. Coming up in sports, we're taking you to Edna for your CFL recap and some volleyball action. See how the Cowboys and Cowgirls did. So stay tuned. Your CFL game of the week did not disappoint. In a storied matchup where the Edna Cowboys hosted the Goliad Tigers, this game pretty much decided the district championship. Friday night at Cowboy Memorial Stadium was a packed house. The undefeated Etna was firing on all cylinders going into that game, and Goliad, a team that came off an impressive 49-13 win against Orange Grove. It was Goliad receiving the ball for a near 40-yard run, but Goliad's luck ran out on their first drive. In the third play of the game, Braylon Harris catches an interception to begin the Cowboys' first possession. Etna takes the lead in the second quarter when QB Chase Schubert throws long to Keith Wilkins.
You know, in summer workouts, you know, staying after until like 9 o'clock, you know, just getting that extra work and, you know, making our chemistry better and better every single day. It's great.
All right, awesome. Etna went on to win the game. Final score, 50-21, a victory that had its penalties, but Coach Mitchell explains how his athletes continue to play through it all.
The luck's got to turn. We got to get better. We got to actually work on it. But, you know, these kids, to their credit, have worked so hard from the semifinal last year. After that game, they went to work all spring, all summer, diligent. And so they're going to fight. And they fought through it tonight again.
The Etna Cowboys wasn't the only team playing a crucial district game. The Cowgirls took on the state favorite Columbus Cardinals. The volleyball matchup was a fun one. Etna was able to put up 14 in the first series to Columbus's 25. Bella Plotney finished with 2 aces, along with Kobe Davis, who also had 2 aces, 9 kills, 11 digs. And Shanti Guerrera finished with an ace of her own, along with 10 kills and 16 digs. The closest we saw Etna get to taking a game from the Cardinals was in the second series. The Cowgirls was able to put up 21 against Columbus's stellar defense, but it wasn't enough. The Cardinals complete the sweep. The Cowgirls will end the season on Tuesday against Rice Consolidated at Etna. And I guess crucial is a theme for tonight's newscast, because another crucial game we're going to end things up with is the Texas A&M hosting LSU, 2 teams in the top 25 and similar records. The Aggies didn't get off to a good start after completing a quick pass to Moss. He tries to get upfield when Ryan rips the ball and causes a shocking turnover. This all happening mid-first quarter with A&M down 3. Not a good time to turn it over. The Tigers complete that drive still in the first quarter, 1st and goal, with Mason Taylor completing the play on the corner route. The Tigers had an excellent first half, as you can see, but Texas A&M came back in the second half with vengeance on their mind, being more aggressive on the field and winning the game. Final score, seeing Texas A&M win 38-23. And that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you, Ray. Stay with us. Coming up, if you like carving pumpkins and pulling out seeds, you are in for a treat. It's National Pumpkin Day. Stay with us. It's time to celebrate one of the Americans' favorite flavor, decorations, and maybe superfoods. It's all out pumpkin season, and today marks National Pumpkin Day. This humble squash has long been associated with Halloween for jack-o'-lanterns, but it's also gotten wildly popular as a dish. Everything from pies to coffees can be flavored with pumpkins, and you can even eat the seeds. I did not know that. The indulgence is healthy because pumpkins are loaded with nutrients. They're also safe for furry friends. Veterinarians recommend pumpkins, prayer for dogs and cats that suffer from certain digestive elements. So go nuts and enjoy the beautiful pumpkin.
Wow. So they're actually called a squash?
They're a squash.
I
But
think
they
they're
do have
in the
squash
squash
and
family.
pumpkins. They do. Do y'all like carving pumpkins? I haven't carved a pumpkin in years.
It's been a long time ago, but I have. It's quite fun.
Well,
What's up in the fog tonight?
yeah, check the weather, y'all. But thank you for tuning in with us, and stay tuned and have a wonderful night.